Now let's turn to that breaking news from Israel, because the parliament there has voted for one of the judicial reforms in a highly controversial bill that has caused months of mass protests. The reform will remove the Supreme Court's power to overrule government actions it considers unreasonable. The law was voted through after the collapse of compromise talks brokered by the country's president. Opposition parties boycotted that vote. The proposals have triggered some of the largest protests in Israel's history. Police using water cannon have been battling protesters on the streets of Jerusalem. One of the leaders of the protest movement and several other demonstrators have been arrested near the Knesset building. Well, let's get the latest from Tom Bateman. He's there in Jerusalem. And Tom, just give us a sense of what it's like where you are after news filtered down from what has happened in the Knesset building.
Yeah, we're very close to the Knesset here, and when that vote came through, actually earlier than expected, the response from these protesters was to fan out and spread out to as many junctions, road junctions as possible around the parliamentary building. Now we've had some reports that one of the main north-south highways in Jerusalem has been blocked, and we've seen some pretty violent scenes throughout the course of today as roads have been blocked. Protesters have chained themselves across the streets, and the security forces have been forcibly removing them. So a little earlier today, for example, we saw security forces in vans trying to drive towards the protesters as the police were dragging them from the streets, and things are getting very, very tense. We've seen quite a lot of arrests, several people injured, but the message from these protesters over these reforms is that they are going to continue their opposition and now potentially appeal to Israel's High Court, and therefore laying the groundwork for a constitutional crisis in this country.
Tom Bateman there in Jerusalem, thanks very much.